Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF NXT. I am Gorilla Monsoon, here with Samoyas and with the Jackal. And today on NXT, we're going to see. Well, what are we going to see? Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, I understand today. Gorilla Monsoon says. We understand we're going to see the Miz here today on NXT in his ongoing saga. Is he going to law work Cusco Wealth team in a toy wrestling gathering? Gorilla Monsoon says. I would think not. Well, Samoa says the Miz believes that he has been bullied by Astronema, believes that the four setter Hunter Hearst Helmsley and the half owners of Cusco Wealth and the half owners of the toy wrestling gathering and the half leadership fellows of the Cusco Wealth team, Xena Pappas Cuska and Cameron Cuska, do not seem to care. Well, the Jackal said he has been bullied by Astronema. She's made him fight Ecliptor, Andros, Gajora, and Algar. So he does say that he's been bullied. Well, Gorilla Monsoon said it was the Miz who started this whole thing with Astronema, and it is the Miz who has to end it, Gorilla Monsoon says. Alright, the Miz says, you keep wondering if my law work is a work or not. If I'm going to truly law seek the toy wrestling gathering and Cusco Wealth team. Well, the truth is I have talked with my lawyer, Clarence Mason, and he tells me I have to be earnest about everything that happened. He tells me that I can't leave anything out. That if Cusco Wealth team and the toy wrestling gathering wronged me, that I gotta be earnest about what I said and did and what they said and did. Fuck! So it looks like a law work isn't gonna happen. But I do know that I have, but my truth is I do know I've been bullied by Astronema, Corone, whatever you want to call her, same woman, same fellow, same soul, same being. You know, that I have been wronged by her. And somehow, some way, she seems to think that she can get away with everything she's done to me. Well, the truth is, I'm gonna get even. I'm gonna get even. That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, you and the rest of the world gonna get even. Alright, Autolycus says. That's enough, Miz. See, we had a match before, and it seems I was right about you. That you thought you could lie to get a law work on a toy wrestling gathering, but it seems you gotta be truthful about everything you said and did, and everything they said and did. If you're not, then your lawyer's gonna look bad. Then it could be lying and besmirching someone or a business good name. Well, anyway, Miz, you're the one that started it with Astronema. Let's be earnest about that. And the grounds to why the four-setter, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, sometimes we call him Triple H, but you got free agents, and the grounds to why the half-owners, Xena Pappas Cuska and Cameron Cuska, didn't take it earnest enough is because they did talk with Astronema. They did talk with their lawyers. They did talk with your lawyer. They did talk with everyone. And it seems to be, Miz, if you haven't forgotten, you were in a talk too, Miz. And the truth is that you started it. Yes, Astronema, she did scathe you for wanting onlook when you didn't give onlook to anyone. You're the one that started shaming her, guilting her, slighting her, and then scathing her, yeah. That's why it got thrown out. That's why it didn't become more than it was. It had nothing to do with you not being truthful. Oh yeah, it had a little bit to do with you being untruthful, because we all know, Miz, you like to lie about stuff. This is the same Miz who thought he could pull the stunt that the show player who played in the film in the Farseer show called Empire, Kaiserdom, pulled when he had a stunt to make it look like that he was getting beat up by folks. He wanted folks to feel sorry for him, that he was getting beat up by folks who were kind hating on him. It then shifts out, Miz, that he lied. It was a whole stunt and lark just to make folks feel sorry for him, because he didn't get enough. Yeah. So, Miz, your offshoot of that was to have Dexter Lumis, when he came back to WWE for his 2-death run, put on Raw, and have him come after you and make it look like that you were a beaten. Is that what it was? So why don't we just have our match here today on NXT? And you know what, Miz? This time I'm going to win. Yeah, scape me for being a thief. Yeah, we all know being a thief is sinful and unlawful. Yeah, we all know stealing is a sin and a misdeed. Makes me a sinner and an outlaw. Yeah, but at least, Miz, I never lied. Oh, yeah, that's right. You never lied. The elder thief who never lied about anything. Well, that seems to be mostly made up, the Miz says. And it looks like we can't even seek that one fight lord, or that one fight keeper, who always has one hand up and one hand down. No one seems to freaking know where they put him at. But that's okay. We can always get the other one out. The one that no one really seems to know who he's offshooted from or not. So we can't seek him. Hey, we'll just get the other one out. Right? Yeah, it looks like we did get him. Yeah, we did. So Miz says, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to beat you, Autolycus, the elder thief. Oh, I might be a sinner, but I'm not an outlaw. See, I don't steal. So, I didn't make that sin, and I didn't make that misdeed. Well, you think you're greater, and I am greater than you. I am. It's a way of Xena getting even with me, making me fight all her friends. Well, Gorilla Monsoon said now the Miz seems to believe it's Xena against him now. And Autolycus taking down the Miz. Gorilla Monsoon said the king of lies. You know, we call him that, the king of lies, Gorilla Monsoon says. The show player, wrestler who always bitching and ranting about how life is unfair to him, about how he never gets any on look for being a wrestler, a show player, or a husband or a father. Well, and Autolycus right now striking the Miz with his weapons, taking him down. Gorilla Monsoon said, you know, that's unlawful, the Jackal says. He should not have that blade in his hand or that other weapon in his hand. How is that lawful? You know? And by the way, tell you what, Gorilla Monsoon, I think he's done enough to get on look. I think being a show player, being a wrestler, being a husband, being a father, I think that gets on look in some folks' book. Yeah, but I think a lot of folks, Samoa says, give on look to give on look. I think that's how it works. You know, on look isn't a one-sided street, you know. The Miz never gave on look to anyone, but he wants everybody to get on look to him. Samoa says, you're right about that, Gorilla Monsoon says. Autolycus will teach the Miz the meaning of the word onlook, since admire is a French borrowed word and respect is a Latin borrowed word. Whoa, you're so funny, the Jackal said. He's going to teach me the meaning of the word onlook, the Jackal says. Well, we do know jackal is a French borrowed word. Yeah, it is. Oh, what would it be? Well, the English word for that be, Samoa says. Well, I want to say dog, but that's an English word. Hound, that's an English word. Jackal is a French borrowed word. Alright, how about black-headed dog? I don't know, dog-like. I don't know. Someone said, well, you don't know, the Jackal says. He don't know either. I could go call myself a Cyrus. That's a Persian borrowed name, or a Farsi borrowed name. Oh! The Jackal said, hey, it looks like the Miz is going to be teaching, Autolycus the meaning of onlook. He gave him the skull-crashing ending, the Jackal says, and that's so great. Well, this is just sad once again that the Miz is going to beat Autolycus, the King of Thieves, Gorilla Monsoon said, even though no one should onlook anyone who is a thief, since it is sinful and unlawful to be a thief. But him standing up to the Miz, I will onlook him for that, Gorilla Monsoon says. The Miz doing the skull-crashing ending here today on NXT. Well, Samoa says, will he get the 1, 2, 3 out of it? 1, 2, and Autolycus 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, The Miz. And somehow The Miz has beat Autolycus once again here today on NXT. And I don't think The Miz has learned anything isn't going to learn anything more about onlook that he didn't learn from anyone else. Gorilla Monsoon says, sadly, I don't think his mother or his father taught him to get onlook, you gotta give onlook. Or need be they did, Gorilla Monsoon said, and he just doesn't care. Gorilla Monsoon said, well, that could be right, Samoa says. Need be he just doesn't care. Need be he believes that all his hard work from, being a show player to being a wrestler, made in his mind he thinks that everybody should just give him onlook for all the hard work he had to put in to get to where he's at now. But sadly, if you don't give any onlook, you won't get no onlook, no need what you do, Samoa says. And that goes for The Miz. I can tell you one thing the Jackal said. I do feel sorry for The Miz. I do sorry for him that his law work got dropped, that he isn't getting no onlook for being a show player, being a wrestler, being a husband, being a father, that he's not getting any onlook from anyone, either in the Toy Wrestling Gathering or Kuska Wealth Team, or the Toy Wrestling Gathering's followership, which most of the watchers and seers and onlookers seem to be nothing more than one-horns up there. The Jackal says, you know what, Gorilla Monsoon said? Would you stop saying The Miz doesn't get no onlook from anyone? I think he does. The only bind is he doesn't give any onlook back to anyone, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, I do know Tony Schiavone is going to be talking now with Autolycus, the King of Thieves, even though being a thief is not something one should onlook. Alright, Gorilla Monsoon, I'm going to be talking with Autolycus, the King of Thieves, here today on NXT. We still don't know what that, whatever it means. Well, I know what it means. The next generation of the next lifetime. The next generation. Or the next lifetime. Anyway, Autolycus, we do know you had a bind with The Miz. And we do know The Miz has beaten you at least 2 times in both of your matches. That's right, Tony Schiavone. I had 2 matches or 2 fights with The Miz, the so-called onlook show player wrestler, who believes that since he's made it big, he doesn't think he has to give any onlook to anyone. You see, Miz, you did do a lot of hard work. You went from a nobody, started out as a show player on true farseer shows, then shifted over to becoming a skilled wrestler, and then somehow, after becoming a show player in some of WWE's films over the years, you ended up wedlocking. You became a husband, you became a father, you got 2 wonderful children, you got a good house, and somehow in your mind you think that now everyone in the whole world owes you onlook. Miz, did you ever give any onlook to anyone your whole life? If the answer is yes, then you're going to get onlook back. But if you didn't give no onlook, Miz, you're not going to get no onlook. And no bitching and ranting and sobbing is going to shift that. Yes, life is not fair. Some folks go their whole lives doing great things, good things, and never get any onlook for it. No one asks for onlook. That's also the thing. You never ask for onlook. You give it and you get it. It's not something you ask for. It's not like a gift. Now, some folks might say that I'm a thief, and yes, thievery is sinful. It is unlawful. It would make me a sinner and an outlaw by doing that deed. But anyway, at least I give onlook. No one can ever say that I'm not guilty of giving onlook to anyone. Ask Heracles. Ask Xena. Ask Elois, we don't get along all the time. Ask Gabrielle if you want. Ask Ernest or Joxer if you want to. You can even go ahead and even ask God Jorah and Jack Sparrow too. Everybody knows me. I give onlook to give onlook. Well, we do know that, Autolycus. I do know that you are an elder man, even though you are a thief, and that's not anything to be onlook for. But we do know that I guess you're now in a bind now with Mike Mazzinian, or the Miz as he likes to call himself. Do you think this bind is something he started? Well, like all things, most of the time Miz starts something with someone. He doesn't know how to end it, and he usually guilts and shames it on someone else, as if they started it. Well, Miz, you started this, but I'm gonna end it. Save all the guilt, shave all the shame, all the slighting, and all the scathing. Because at the end of the day, Miz, I'm going to beat you. And at the end of the day, you're going to start giving onlook to get onlook. Well, that's my talk with Autolycus, the King of Thieves. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Autolycus, the King of Thieves, here today on NXT. And it looks like it is all the time we've got here for NXT. I am Gorilla Monsoon for Samoeus and the Jackal. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite or Might.